Reactions have continued to trail the suspension of CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele by the president, and according to information, or this is sequence to the ongoing investigation of his office and the planned reforms in the financial sector of the economy. According to a statement by Willie Bassi, the Director of Information Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. According to a report, Godwin Emefiele was directed to immediately hand over to the affairs of his office to the Deputy Governor Operations Directorate, who is to act as the CBN Governor pending the conclusion of the investigation and reforms. Well, let's get talking now. We have our guest immediate past the Chairman ICANN Ikeja District, Mr. Olusegun Okwade, joins us virtually now. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time again for being here. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Frank, and good morning to all our viewers. How was your democracy celebration yesterday?
Well, of course, we were here celebrating and, of course, having a discussion how we can move this nation forward. And I hope you did have.
It's the profession you have chosen. It's a profession you have chosen. We can only encourage you to do more.
All right. Thank you so much for your kind words. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's get started. I'm sure. Let me begin from the speech of President Tinubu yesterday. How does it come to you? I mean, some people have applauded the speech, that it was one of the best, democracy speech ever to be given by a sitting president.
I want to join my voice to say that was a good speech for certain reasons. One, if you look at the speech yesterday, it centers more about people, and the first time I'm hearing a president referring to we the citizen as a compatriot. And you can only hear that when you are singing national anthem, when they say arise, O compatriots. And we discovered that he's able to bring that to bear to say we are co-workers in the movement of this nation. And he was able to touch on areas to reaffirm the democracy, how we can collaborate to sustain and allow it to move on. And the current burden being faced by the citizen, he was able to touch on it, which has to border on the first subsidy that we need to just kill that monster that has actually been bedeviling us as a nation. So kudos for such a brilliant first, the maiden speech of our president to we the citizen.
And since the president, came into office, it looks like, he's ever ready to hit the ground running, and especially reforms. There are some bills that have been signed already. Of course, there's also development with regards to the financial sector, reforms in the financial sectors. In his inaugural speech, he talked about the need to do a total house cleansing or cleaning of the Apex Bank, that is the Central Bank of Nigeria. And that, of course, that speech was followed by an action where the CBN governor was suspended. So it appears that perhaps the president is ready to, walk the talk, not just, to talk now, but to walk the talk. But let's talk about the implication of the Central Bank governor suspension. So how would you address that?
Let me start from the area of walking the talk. We've had our president who goes give promises, and it will be difficult to actually carry out the promises as expected. The first of his kind was while he was campaigning, he made us to understand that as a president, he would take off the idea or the issue that borders around fuel subsidy. It was one of his campaign policy that he would remove it. And while he was giving his inaugural speech, the first thing he did was he just said the three words: subsidy is gone. You see, when you want to talk, you don't give long speeches. You just give the bullet point and you follow up with action. And that we have seen that he has done. The Labour has actually tried to challenge status quo, and he's been able to make them see reason why we need to do this. And on the issue of the financial sector, between you and I, it's my personal view. I feel there are certain things the suspended CBN governor has actually done that we felt that it should not remain in office. We expect that CBN governor will be independent. He was given that power, but not until when he came out to say he will actually want to become the president of the nation without resigning from office. That actually put some of us on toes. But you know, our former president Buhari is a man that is lenient. He will just hold it by the word. But this man came in looking at some of the policy that he felt that the CBN governor promised and was unable to fulfill, which has created action on people. Look at the monetary policy. The interest rate on borrowing is really high that most companies are actually dying. People, even the agricultural sector, that he promised a lot. We have seen instances where some of these anchor borrowers funds are not actually being monitored for repayment to grow some of those areas. So you discover that there are a lot of things that the former president has actually controlled. I'm sure all in the name not to be seen. Maybe to be putting ethnic correlation, he has just been managing it. But take one thing from this current president, is my senior colleague in the profession of accounting, and the one thing you can't take away from us is accountability and transparency. Each time we want to get some of these things done. So we should expect a better thing. During his speech, he gave an insight to we having a unitary foreign exchange policy, and it's part of the things some of us have been advocating for before now. Even the former vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, took the lead when he was leading that economic team. That the best we can have is to have that, allow the forces of demand and supply to take its course in determining the prices of some of these of the foreign exchange then. But the CBN felt that having a parallel market will be. And like we keep saying, if I was a cousin to CBN governor and I have access to a rolling fund of $1 million, Mike, by now, you can imagine a difference of about $250 to $300 naira on each dollar for 1 million, and you are just rolling it over every quarter. That is enough money without doing anything to launch you big into those things you're doing. But we feel that his suspension is to investigate and interrogate things and see how we can make the country forward. If it's found that he's not culpable of some of those allegations against him, then we see him just possibly resigning and moving on with his life.
Mm. You know, there are quite conversations around the legality of whether a president can, sack, a serving CBN governor or not. I mean, that's another conversation. But let's look at.
Let me just interject that he has not.
Okay. It's all right.
He's only being suspended just to investigate what the issues are. Suspension is not sacked. As we speak, I can tell you that he has not been sacked. He's only been suspended for investigation to be carried out.